are literally shaping the planet.
Purpose is the only pathway to a regenerative future.
We have a choice to stay with the status quo or to change.
What is the point of trying to be just resilient when we can actually innovate?
Thank you so much for inviting for this session, especially for KP and his team. And it's good to know that the session has been planned very nicely, having a design, build, operate sessions along with a keynote. So today, my topic will be more focusing on how the digital transformation in Indian AECO sector is happening. AECO for the full form is nothing but architecture, engineering, construction, and operation. It involves all the agencies which works for a project. So here is my contact number. Anyone want to connect, you're welcome. And you may be seeing the right side, there's a India map where you may be looking into different locations. This is through the society. We have done some surveys to understand what kind of barriers we have currently for the better transformation to happen. We'll discuss on that in the coming slides. Before we go to that topic, let us have a brief look on how BIM is looked at in the global market. If you can see this presentation slide, it's about the global trends in the BIM research. BIM, as you all know, it's about the building the information into the model, and B stands for the building, which is a verb, not the noun. It may be for a building sector, infra sector, or a smart cities, anything. So if you are looking for smart buildings, infra cities, BIM plays a major role. And looking into the way the global trends have evolved with respect to BIM, 1990s where the BIM terms started. You may be using a term BDC, BIM, or infrastructure information modeling, or city information modeling, or digital twin, whatever. It started way back 3 decades ago. And globally, there has been a lot of research efforts from the different agencies in the market to see whatever the BIM we have currently in the market. If you want to know deeper about this, just Google BIM research, you'll find this article which I published in 2016, which was one of the top 10 research output for 2016 globally. Looking into the BIM adoption efforts in the public sector, as you can see, wherever the spots are here, there is one or the other kind of efforts which has been started, kind of public mandates, or it may be at a central level, state level, or it may be from major clients. Once they realize the benefits that BIM can bring for them and the kind of transparency and the clarity in terms of the project, so they realize that BIM makes a difference when they bring into the project implementations, and they're making it as a prerequisite for even for bidding for the projects. And no matter within India also, there's a lot of key requirement from the client side now started for expecting for the BIM as a implementation procedure for the projects. Looking into this next slide, which is about global trends in BIM education. This was a research which I have done in 2017, where you can see almost 20 to 25 countries already have BIM diffused in their education curriculum, which may not be limited to civil, architecture, or mechanical, computer science. It's also for legal departments and construction management, real estate, all these divisions. And nowadays, recently, I see that there's also 1 year, 2 years masters, which is coming up, especially designed for the BIM as education. Looking into the Indian market, there are only a few basic courses which has been introduced, and there's a very much work required to be done on this. Looking into the global market, the education has been seen as what has to be, education is delivered in the sense, what should be practiced for next 1 decade. But in Indian education system, still we are behind. Most of the time, the education system focus on what has been happened in the past decade. This is the next slide, which gives a brief about BIM education approaches globally. If you can see here, there are government promoting BIM education in some of the countries like UK, USA, Hong Kong. And BIM education by policy field players like educationalists and researchers are driving in some of the countries with high efforts like Norway, Brazil, and medium efforts in some countries and little efforts in UAE, Nigeria, and South Africa. And some BIM adoption in tertiary education system, which is for incorporating the BIM concepts, technology, and process. Many universities are there in UK, USA, Finland, Ireland, and Netherlands. Several are there in Denmark, Belgium, Australia, Taiwan, and very few in China, Hong Kong, New Zealand. BIM education related events, our conferences happening are many in UK, USA, and several in these countries like Australia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and few in China, New Zealand. So BIM-based certifications or training programs in the market are available in these countries. The reason I'm discussing this, I'll come back on that. Looking into the Indian education system, this is just to give you a sample. Like if 100% students complete the class 1, 77% students complete the class 10, and 55% students complete their class 12, and 26% students complete their college. And we have 950 universities, 50,000 colleges, and 3.5 crore students. And 88 lakh students pass out every year. And among this, 6.5 lakh engineering students are graduates every year. This is the kind of scale we have, and India is meant for the young population, and which is in the age group of 20 to 35, which needs a very good directioning for going further for transformation to happen. Technology alone cannot transform anything, but you need a people who can utilize this technology the best possible to have the transformation. And that's the reason we have a society, and this national society which focuses on digital transformation, which was formed in 2016. And now we have reached to almost 35 to 40,000 people from 60 plus countries. And this is the survey which was done in 2017 to understand what are the kind of barriers for bringing in BIM into the education or for the industry. Then it was a dedicated research done, and we categorized the outputs into 3 areas, which need to be solved by these 3 respective people. The policy field players, which includes regulatory bodies, academia, and policymakers, and so on. And then the second category is the technology field players who are involved in developing the technologies, the tech vendors. And the third one is industry players, which is nothing but process field players who need to solve these issues. Since it is a concern which need to be addressed, so we are coordinating on these areas with different Indian AECO sector professionals to get this set. And looking into the detailed understanding of what are the problems we currently have in the market. Like within industry, for the kind of digital transformation to happen, there are 6 important barriers that need to be considered. Like technical, we heard about some tech vendors speaking about their technologies. Frankly speaking, some technology is so expensive, which is very difficult to offer for implementations. And hardware requirements keep changing every day in, day out, and it's not so easy to keep this change happen in the companies. And standardized guidelines are now available for implementing these technologies. People barriers, because it's all client driven limitations, because until the client demands for it, companies doesn't change easily. And less importance given towards the BIM adoption from other team members. Until the mandates comes in or the top down approach comes in, there's not easy to push in any technology it's all about change management which is required. And the lack of talented workforce to operate these technologies. There are day in, day out new technologies coming in. When you say BIM, overall complete project implementation, you may go with 20-25 softwares. Some maybe for planning, some for modeling, some for estimation, some for simulations, progress monitoring, like that. But there is no talented workforce available for operating all these technologies. It's another key concern. Education and training barriers, as you all know, the education system need to change a lot. Absence of BIM education and training, but even though there is education, they focus on BIM as a software education, which may not be good enough for building a team of manager and strategic level experts. It's only building the workforce. Skill issues is another thing with respect to the faculty availability, and organizational efforts are very less, because most of these organizations are government funded if it's a government initiative, and if it's a private funded, they're focusing only to make money. So coming to the legal barriers, there is a liability and copyright issues. National building codes are not available for India anyhow. There is ISO codes which is coming in. Third-party dependency for the accuracy of BIM models is more. Work practice and process related barriers are there, like roles and responsibilities are not well defined. Even now, change in practice and use of information, inefficient regulatory. And also there are some commercial barriers in terms of capital of investment. Key adopters for BIM will not get the immediate benefits. Like the design is done with BIM, but BIM is not taken for construction and operation, where the real return on investments are coming out from. With respect to academia, there are three sectors, which is the problems need to be solved by these agencies. The process of introducing BIM in the AECO curriculum, because the way the BIM has to be introduced into curriculum need to be considered. It has to be part of each and every subject rather than having it as a one as an elective. Resolving key issues in delivering BIM in curriculum, initiative to produce trained BIM personnel. Technology related, it's about IT laboratory facilities are not there in the universities. Even in the top notch, the premier institutes, they don't have the required equipments to implement BIM. Even 1 hour ago, I was listening to one of the student who is from the one of the national premium institute. Need of BIM technical officers and need of standards and guidelines are not there. Process field is industry related problems that need to be solved. Need for revising the existing incomplete BIM curriculums. Industry need to join hands with the academia to help them, because these are the people going to serve you to better deliver the projects. An initiative to reduce the weak ties between industry and academia is very much indeed required. Teaching BIM as both technology and process is very much important. This slide will give you a brief on how, being part of the society, we are trying to help spread the awareness of the BIM, digitalization, digital twin, whatever it is, how the global way is moving. We keep having some sessions every day in, day out to help the students and also the professionals address these topics so that they can focus on these areas, because directioning is the most important for them. Now everything is available on internet. Anyone can explore any topic and anyone can attend any sessions. But the most important thing, what they need to focus on for their upskillment is most important. So that guidance is very much important. And when it comes to the job related with respect to BIM, it's very much required for people to have an understanding. There are three categories. One is technical, second is managerial, third is strategic. Technical is nothing but when people have skills on operating some of the technologies, whichever is related to BIM. So they fall under this category. Managerial is a category where people manage the people who are working on these softwares and also make sure the deliverables are set on right time. Strategy is more on a leadership drive, because this is very much important for driving any change management in the organizations, who sets the organization strategies and set the roadmaps and align the teams and makes the key decisions on what kind of technologies, equipments need to be procured, understand what's happening in the global market, and help the handhold the company for which they're working to in a leadership level to support in the transformation. Now, this is the most important. At the category 1, India has the highest number of technical experts, because India is also called as a BIM factory, which is providing BIM services for the global market from almost 15 years. And the manager level, we have few, since the salary problems, many people plan to switch to other countries. Once they get better skills, they want to switch for other countries. Then when previous speakers, I see that there's about the skill problems. It's not about the skill problem, it's about proper positioning of these staff. If they get paid properly, they will also stay back in the country. And the strategic problems, because there is a leadership level, then very few people understand this drive, and it's very much important to build this kind of capabilities, so that in India being such a big country and development is happening in a big way, there's a need of that leadership level people to handle the companies and support them in transformation. But because of the salary issues, many people will leave the country, or they want to go to other country and work. There are several issues. It's not that India doesn't have the skilled professionals. I can say that Indian organizations are not able to retain the skilled professionals. Coming to some of these slides, this is with respect to my company where I work. It's L&T, Larsen and Toubro, one of the mega contractor for the Asian market. We do have BIM implementation. My roles here are focusing on formulating the strategies for the organization, and also support in skill development programs, and also in understanding what's happening with each individual companies within this size company, and try to support, formulate strategies for the organization. So I can show you some sample slides about how BIM getting implemented. Currently, we have 700 to 800 mega scale projects in our company running, and each of them would range from 1,000 crores to 30-40,000 crores. So even though BIM many of the times may be used for real estate sector projects, but we being in L&T, more than 40 to 50% of projects we focus on BIM. May not be to the complete project lifecycle management, but design and build is happening with these implementations. And moreover, day in, day out, there's a lot of requirements from the client side coming in for the BIM in the projects. So it's happening. See, this is one sample project which shows you about water and effluent treatments where the modeling is done with BIM. Some of these projects, there is no CAD drawings used. They directly use the modeling first and then they extract the drawings from this. And they're also using for better coordination meetings, visualization, and also time planning and so on. This is for the combined utility of a smart infrastructure projects within the company. Here also the 3D and the time planning, cost planning, and also common data environment setup. This kind of activities are happening. This is for most of the metro, sports, and harbor projects. Some of the metro projects which are coming recently are all with the BIM requirements set for Indian projects. And most of these projects we are incorporating BIM for design and build, including the CDE maintenance and also for handover of the projects. And some of the projects within the company, like airport projects, they have been planned for utilizing it for smart facility management. They need a complete detailed requirements when you hand over the projects. This is for the nuclear and special bridges projects. Here is for power transmissions and distribution lines. So even in this area, the BIM plays a major role, and most of these projects are being planned and worked out with BIM. Almost from past 10-15 years, we are utilizing it, but not to the level expected. As you said, the most important thing is taking the benefits at the construction phase, and that has been activated to some level by now. There's a way forward to implement that. This is for geostructure projects. And this is for the railway projects where you can see the right hand side, there's a 3D point cloud data captured. And for some of these projects, we do the laser scanning for progress monitoring too. And this is for metallurgical and material handling projects. And coming back to the society, this is the India BIM Association, which was set up in May 2016. And which is mainly focusing on 4 areas. One is for education and training, which is the most important, because if you want to do something, you need to have a skilled workforce. So that's one area where we are supporting different universities in curriculum developments and vetting it, and also for awareness sessions and so on. The second area is supporting in certifications of the programs and also for implementations and check the maturity of implementations. The third is we do organize several set of events day in, day out. At least monthly, we have 15 plus events happening to support the industry, academia, and different agencies. We collaborate in that level. And also we focus on organizing several set of workshops. And there are several activities happening through the society. There have been, since we started in 2016, there are different kind of forums which got set up in other countries. So the impact of this India BIM Association in Indian AECO sector for digital transformation are, it activated tech vendors, industry professionals, policymakers, academia, and research industries to collaborate for digital transformation. Where we bring these people, connect them, the dots, so that they can exchange their areas and services, and they are able to get much benefits out of that. And the second one is India was recognized as a BIM factory before, because it was used to provide a lot of modeling services and so on. And now with the awareness sessions focusing on managerial and strategic direction, we're trying to improve the skilled professionals further to implement BIM at a project management level. The services can be provided by Indian team for the Indian projects. The third is better diffusion of BIM in academic curriculums day in, day out. We are educating the universities about how this will benefit for better building the having a BIM ready graduates in the market, and connected service providers and clients for better BIM project delivery. And candidates with research focus on BIM were able to get connected and collaborate with different research experts in the global sector, where we keep organizing monthly 1 or 2 sessions with professors and candidates who are focusing for higher education, so that they will be able to direction them and get a direct focus on what they need to do and get the research funding. Overall, we are able to connect the dots, that is nothing but the BIM services and its providers, to mature the BIM in AECO sector projects. And overall, we are activating the national BIM standards and certifications by coordinating with the Bureau of Indian Standards and also with the British Research Establishment for the national annex for the ISO. Coming to the importance of this kind of association for improving the BIM adoption or maturity of its markets, I do know that there are several attendees from different regions, and trust me, this kind of forum has benefited a lot in our market. And looking at this as an example, several other forums in other countries have initiated, and they're trying to build that community and work together in practice, because the most important thing is collaborate, communicate, and coordinate to have any better project delivered or for the transformation to happen. And here we have 5 important things which has been activated. It works as a common neutral platform for tech, policy, process field players to collaborate and plan initiatives supporting digital transformation. Because BIM, anything to be initiated, you need to have this kind of different agencies to come together and understand what is the market requirement rather than working in silos. And India has a large size of young population, as I discussed in the previous slides. Directing them towards the right path was performed through these several awareness sessions. And as a national society, we had activated BIM diffusion through top-down. Initially, we worked on bottom-up approach, giving a set of awareness sessions from past 4 years. And later, we worked on top-down approach by influencing the key clients and the ministries about the importance of bringing in such technologies or methodologies for implementation, the kind of return on investment they can get from that. And then parallelly, we worked on middle-out approach to influence the industries involved in the implementation of such projects. And we are able to create a community of professional BIM consultants who can support the organizations with trainings, events, audits, certifications, and BIM services. So it's all about having these in one place so that whenever the services are required can be delivered. So this was another benefit of activating this. Looking at the National Society initiative, what we have like India BIM Association, several other national BIM forums were initiated like Nepal BIM Forum, UAE BIM Forum, BIM Forum Brazil, and so on. So it's a short presentation from my side, and thank you so much. And here is my WhatsApp number. Anyone want to connect with me or welcome. Thank you.